Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing this morning? Oh man, today, we're going to be talking about what GPT-3 does for text. The P.I.L.L method does for numbers or algorithms to cancel debt. It is going to be a powerful show. All right. So let's get Miss Donna up here. All right. And so we're going to get started. Hey, Kurt, let me know because my mic is a little different. I had to use the Bluetooth this morning. Let me know how it sounds, and maybe I need to adjust it.
It's not very clear. It's a little muffled.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Very crystal clear this morning.
All right. Well, we're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that. So let me go ahead and stop this right now. Hold on for a second, folks. Let me switch over. Okay, how's that? Miss Donna, can you hear me?
Perfect. I was sharing the room. Perfect.
All right. Well, all right. So I got to keep an eye on. So what I did was I used my iPad, folks, and I forgot to charge it. So I've got a very low charge right about now. So I'm
in while you type.
Thank you. I can charge. Listen, I can charge while you can introduce yourself, Miss Donna. And I appreciate what you said in the other room. And we might be able to talk about that for just a minute. Okay. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Donna.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So, folks, listen, this thing is taking the internet and Clubhouse by storm. This whole idea of GPT-3, all right, GTP3. And so, listen, and can't hear. We got a user on Facebook. Can you at Facebook here? People who are on Facebook, can you hear me now? All right, people on Facebook, can you hear me now? Go ahead and let us know. All right. So let me type it. Can you hear me on Facebook? There we go. We're putting it in. All right, folks. There we are. So listen, Donna, we're getting started here, and we're going to talk about something that's very, very important. We're going to talk about the fact that we have been using AI, artificial intelligence, in the P.I.L.L method for years. All right. And I want to show something. As soon as I can. So Kurt says he's going to be coming right back. All right. So I may have to wait, but I want to I want to go to our YouTube channel. I want to go to our YouTube channel. Let me see if I can put that on the screen. And let me see here. So I got the YouTube channel up. I'm going to share this with you all. So that, and oh, folks, if you want to see what we're doing here, if you're on Clubhouse, you can go to YouTube. And search P.I.L.L method, and you can see what we're putting on the screen. So this is going to be good. So we're going to do share screen here. All right, and entire screen. Boom, and there we go. And we're sharing that. And Kurt, if you're back, you can put that on. If you're not, then I'll put it up myself. All right, there we go. All right, great. So here we go, folks. We have it on here. I want to show you something. I'm going to put something. Let me see here. I need to now on these smaller screens. It's tough. All right, because I need to get into the search part. There it is. All right. So we're going to search artificial, right? Intelligence. All right. First of all, we got to spell it right, right? Okay. Got to type. All right. Intelligence. I want to show you something that's very important here. All right. So we're going to return that. I want you to see these are all on the P.I.L.L Method channel. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. All right. These videos are on the P.I.L.L Method channel when we were trying to explain what we were doing years ago. So IBM research artificial intelligence. Okay. 11 years ago. 11 years ago, Donna. All right. 11 years ago. And the reason why I am making this a thing, the reason why I'm making this a thing is because I don't know how to code. I don't know basic computer function, how a computer actually functions. I can turn one on and I can turn one off, Coffee Brown. Okay. But the ideas that came to me even years ago, I can't take claim. I can't take claim on that. So how in the world did we get to the point where we're talking about, listen now, I need to also show you something here. Listen, augmented machine learning. All right, augmented machine learning. And I put this up 5 years ago on our site. 5 years ago. Right now, this IA thing, artificial intelligence, typing into what is it called? OpenAI.com. All right, take a look at this. And if you can see here, I need you to take a look at this. On 12/16 of last year, 12/16 of last year, just a little over a year ago, artificial intelligence eliminates mortgages in 7 years. So before everybody started using artificial intelligence, we were using it, the same artificial intelligence to power the P.I.L.L method and to come up with the right numbers at the right time. Oh, I was typing into OpenAI. I was typing questions into OpenAI. And some people have asked, Don, why don't you put extra money on debt every month? All right. Why don't you put extra money on debt every month? Why do you wait to do it at certain times during the year? So I typed into the AI, and I've got all of that. I've got all that saved. So I've typed it into the AI. You know what the AI came back and said? It said that you could actually optimize interest savings per dollar if you hold on to the money and apply it at the right time. What do you guys think about that? Come on. Where did that come from? Donna, what do you have to say about that? Coffee.
That is amazing, God. I tell you, AI is not new, as you said it. It is not. But the Chat GPT now is, everybody's just getting a hold of it. But it is. Look at the cars, Don. Look at these cars that are now driving and the technology in it, and the command. That's been AI. We've been using AI in medicine for a long time. So, I mean, it is not new, but this concept with, everybody's just getting onto it appears new, but the savings that it could, how the, it is amazing how it could tell you when to apply, how to apply, and the best time to apply. Just giving you that information It's amazing. It is amazing.
It is absolutely amazing. And you know what? It confirms what we've been doing for years. Do you know, in the room we just left, Donna, in the room we just left, we got people who have been doing mortgages for years. Okay. And then when we talk about what we do, then they come up based on what they know to be true, what they've been doing forever. They're disagreeing with what we do here at the P.I.L.L method because it's not right for all situations because of what they know to be true. And I'm telling you, Donna, if we thought about it the same way here at the P.I.L.L method as they do, we would be in agreement. We would be in agreement. But guess what?
Hey, Don.
Yes, this coffee.
They might assume that it's not for everybody, but it's for enough bodies. Okay. Body or not is irrelevant. It's for enough bodies to be free and liberated. I'm going on mute. That just made me upset.
Well, listen. So what they're doing is instead of asking questions, because Donna asked a real estate investor, why aren't they using the P.I.L.L method? It is because, and no matter how often I say it, I am not using monies that you've earmarked for reinvesting. And that's the first place they go. So why would I use money that I need to reinvest and put it on the debt? Well, when you use the artificial intelligence. So here's what I asked the chat GPT. All right. I'm asking it questions like if I have several loans, okay. And what should I do to optimize interest savings? So it goes into this thing where it uses complicated terms. All right. And I'm not going to read the terms. All right. But it uses complicated terms to tell me that what you need is a system that reads all of the interest rates, all of the balances, and then compute interest cost, and then apply money, not every month, but at certain times during the year to the right loan on the right day to optimize interest savings. And folks, this is what we're doing. And it almost brought me to tears because we've been talking about it for years. And now we're going to be able to write a book based on the information we're getting from other sources that what's the word I'm looking for? Validate what we have been saying for years. Now, Coffee, what you are saying is that people who actually use the program find validation of what we're saying already, because you said it's for enough other people. But here's the thing: when people who are sincere in their belief that what they believe is true, then there's a statement that we can make. And here it is, folks. If what you absolutely knew to be true turned out not to be true, when would you want to know? When would you want to know? Yesterday. So this is what we're talking about. So what we're talking about, when you're talking about disrupting an industry, you're talking about people who have been in there for years. Can somebody, Donna, let me see if we can get Luis in here. So I'd like to get.
I had pinged him before.
Okay.
I'd pinged him before, so
all right.
I'll wait and see.
All right, thank you very much. So listen, this is where we are, folks. We are doing when nobody was talking about it, we were put videos up on our channel just to get the information out in the language we had. So, and I didn't have the language. I just knew. You know what? I can't explain how I knew. And if you are, listen, I happen to believe, this is my faith tradition. I believe in the Holy Spirit that people have called me a genius. I am not a genius, but I can access genius. Genius can be downloaded into any individual who sets themselves up to accept that information, because not everybody has the same gifts and talents. So whatever your gift, whatever your talent is, you can plug in to the genius that God is, that it can download information into you. And I'm telling you, folks, that's where this information comes from. Because let me tell you what I don't have. I've told you what I do have, but let me tell you what I don't have. I don't have a degree. I don't have a college degree. I don't have a background in finance. I was a firefighter for 17 years. I don't have a degree in any of the things that you would. Oh, how you doing, Brian? Good morning. I don't have a degree in anything that even remotely would be related to finance, amortization, interest cancellation, interest optimization. I don't know, none of that. So how in the world did I know that? How in the world did I know that? So, Coffee, how would you explain it? How could a person know something they
Heavenly downloads, son. Heavenly downloads.
listen, can do you have time to expand on that?
You know, I'm glad you said that, Don. A lot of times it's not what we've.
We lost her. Looks like we lost her audio. It looks like we lost your audio too, Don.
It's like download this and add this.
Okay, we're good now.
When that happens, it causes the system to become something that it wasn't previously. And so when I say heavenly downloads, I'm talking about, and a lot of people can relate to this, you have a dream about something, or an idea pops in your mind, or you see something and it sparks some type of interest that wasn't there previously. So that's what I mean by heavenly downloads. It comes from the creator of the universe and it downloads into us. It's the same concept as the devices that we're using right now, the clothing that we're wearing, the accessories that we wear, the vehicles that we drive. All of those downloads came from the creator of the universe, and it passed through us for us to be able to disseminate and share it with the world. And so that's what I mean by heavenly downloads. It came directly through the creator, it downloaded into you, and then you disseminated the information. And guess what, Don? If you had not followed through with it, it would have went somewhere else, because ideas don't die. They just transfer to somebody that's willing to take the initiative to make it happen. So kudos to you for taking that initiative when you receive those downloads to make it happen.
And listen, folks, and these downloads actually turned into a book. And when they turned into a book, we were able to get that out to a lot of different people. But guess what? So we didn't stop there. We went online to get this out on 3 times a week, so that you can hear it on Clubhouse and that you can see it on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So we can now put this information out so that it is out there permanently for people to benefit from. How we can save interest, and pay down principal faster and increase profitability at a much lower interest cost. This is amazing on what we're talking about here. So listen, I need you to hear a little bit from someone else who discovered that they were paying more interest than they needed to, cut their interest cost by about 75%, paid off their mortgage faster, and their wife was put completely at peace when it came to their finances. Let's hear from Dr. Eric Thomas, and let's hear what he has to say about the P.I.L.L method. My name is Don Daniel, founder of P.I.L.L Method International, and our team created.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down from my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.
All right, I'm back. Listen, somebody just came in and put up that in the other room we just left, they said the P.I.L.L method may interfere with the tax situation. All right, may interfere with the tax situation. So before we go into, I want to put a pin in that, and then we're going to come back to that. So I want you to remind me of that.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Donna.
No, I'm going to say, you see, when people are not, like, when we've been stuck in our ways and we don't know, the thing about it is that we're not open to new things. We're not open to learn. We're not receptive to new things. A lot of people are jumping on, the topic is about, GPT-3 and AI, and everybody's jumping into it, right? It's a new thing. It's accepting, everybody's accepting it, but it's been here a while. And, this has been here, and you've been preaching, you've been talking to the people, and you have the receipts. But you see what happened, because people have come up in the banking system, and guess what? They don't know, because we have heard people on this stage here that are working in the bank, that are in top portfolios of the bank. And it's like, oh, I didn't know this. It's for people to be receptive, to be humble, and to listen. Because guess what? There is something to learn every day. Learn it. We don't know everything. Just be receptive to learn. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for that, Donna. Listen, folks, if you want to know more about how to pay off the mortgage cheaper, okay, and so Donna, what we're focused on is not how fast to pay off the debt. We're focused on saving money. You can pay off this debt and not pay all of that interest. That is what's amazing about this. And so when we focus on that, you can disrupt the bank's timing so that you can save interest. So when I asked the Chaptgpt that, all right, it came back and said, yes, interest can be optimized. And then I said, can it be optimized per dollar applied? Now, here's what this means, okay? So I'm asking the AI this, and then it says, yes, it can be optimized per dollar. Here's what it means. If you can put money on the debt, all right, just like Eric Thomas, if you could put a certain amount of money on the debt, do you want to know how much interest you saved? Well, most people don't know how much interest they saved. It's not calculated. It's not measured. You can't optimize what you cannot measure. So when we ask the AI this question, can it be optimized per dollar? The AI said, yes, it can be optimized per dollar. You need to have these things in place. And the very things that it said you need in place, we have in our system. Now, Don, why aren't you articulating what those things are? Because that's proprietary information. That belongs to us. But the fact that the AI confirmed what we're doing is amazing, amazing, amazing. So now, when you said that, now here's what you need to understand. What if you could put $1 on, Luis in the other room talked about putting a penny on your principal and getting 7 pennies back. Would that be good? Of course it would be good, because now you know what you're getting for your money. All right. So when we understand that now you're optimizing your money to get the biggest bang for your buck. So what if you could find out that you could put $1 on and save $6 in interest by doing the wrong thing at the wrong time? That same dollar, you could save. Let's say you could only save $4 in interest instead of $6. So Donna, and coffee. Guess what? What do you think happened when I asked the AI? When I asked the AI, is it possible to put too much money on at the wrong time? You would think more money would be better, but when I asked the AI, is it possible to put too much money on at the same time? Guess what they said? What do you think it said?
It's going to say yes. It's not. You don't need to put so much money on there.
Coffee?
I second that emotion.
All right. So it came back that if you put too much money on at the wrong time, you're violating the law of diminished return. There's a point at which more is actually too much. And when you put more money on at the wrong time, the results you get are less. So let me put it to you this way. I know of a builder right here in Huntsville, all right, that told me, says, Don, I know how many nails I need to order for each building plan that we have. They know how many nails to order because they know how many nails go into that plan. So I'm thinking, and I want to ask him, because you would think, because when you nail something right, it becomes stronger, it's sturdier. All right. And so I said, as you're nailing this thing, sir, what if you doubled the amount of nails in your structure? Would it make the structure stronger? Do you know what he said? It actually would make it weaker and cost me more money. Because the more nails you put in, the more you split the wood, and the weaker the wood becomes. There is an optimum number of nails to put in to get the maximum amount of strength in the building. Putting more nails in doesn't increase the strength. It increases the cost, and in certain situations, it actually weakens the building. Can I give you another example of that? For somebody who doesn't know what they need to know all the time. You know, I didn't always know how to wash clothes. Coffee, Donna, I didn't always know how to wash clothes. Because, I'm thinking, when you're putting that laundry detergent in the washing machine and it says put a 1/4 cup in, that 1/4 cup means at one time meant to me, that's for average dirty clothes. But what if these clothes are really dirty? I mean, they are really dirty. Listen, I need to put 3 cups of detergent in for this load. What would happen if I did that? 3 cups of detergent instead of the 1/4 cup it asked for.
Don't do it, Don. Don't do it.
Don't do it? Wouldn't I get the clothes cleaner if I put more soap in?
Absolutely not.
No, Don, not at all.
No. Okay, all right. How about this one? I have a headache. All right. And I know if I take 2 Tylenol, my headache is gone in about a half hour. So what if I take 12 Tylenol? Will I get rid of the headache faster?
No, it will turn you to the hospital with overdose.
Pump in your stomach, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So folks, Why is it if we absolutely know that more of something it can ruin. Listen, how many do y'all like jerk chicken? You like jerk chicken?
I do.
Okay. Is it possible to put too much jerk on the chicken and ruin it?
Oh yes, absolutely.
What? So
Especially if it's spicy.
so more is not better? So in
No.
everything, listen, folks, in everything you can think of, there's a point at which more is too much.
And
Yes.
there's even a biblical principle to that.
I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Moderation.
What was that again?
Do everything in moderation.
Everything in moderation. Folks, we're talking about natural laws here in place that when they're violated, you can't do what you need to do. So I'm asking the AI all sorts of questions here. Okay, they're going to become it's going to be part of my next book. I'm asking it, if you have 13 different debts, can you put into this? Can you build a computer? What would I need to build a computer to handle 13 different debts and optimize interest savings? Do you know it started spitting stuff out immediately? Boom, 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 boom. And the same things it was spitting out, we have refined those things over the last 17 years that are already in this program, so that it started out with old information. It started out with old information, like using debt snowball theory, and it said something about start with the highest interest rates and knocking those out. But then because how you prompt the AI is important. But when I gave it a few more prompts, a little bit more information, it got rid of, it changed its tune and said, that you need to consider interest cost instead of interest rate. What? Where have you heard that, Donna?
Only on the P.I.L.L method.
The AI said you need to consider interest cost instead of interest rate, knowing when to put money on the debt. So when I asked it, so it said, then it started out putting money on every month. And I said, is it possible to save up money to put on the debt? Is it possible to save up money to put on the debt, not every month, but at strategic times during the year to optimize interest savings? The AI said, yes, it is. Folks, I want to tell you, the basics of this information is in my book that you can get on Amazon. If you want to know more about how to get out of debt, all right, and use AI to do it, artificial intelligence, that's been around for the last 17 years, and we are constantly improving it. And when you ask questions about what we're doing, no one else on the planet is doing what we're doing, optimizing interest savings. If you want that for yourself, then go to, can you put my link at the top, Donna? ice10k.com, ice10k.com. If you would put that up there for me, I would appreciate it very, very much. So we're putting that on the top of the room right now, folks. Click on that link. When you click on that link, you can get, you would go to a button that says get a savings and earnings report. All right. Get a savings and earnings report. So, okay, maybe Donna's not in the room right now. Hold on for a second. Let me put it up here, folks. So we're going to go down and pin the link. All right. ice10k.com. Boom. There it is. All right. So it's at the top. So click that link. And if you're watching us online, go to ICE, the number 10, the letter K.com. And
I've already put that in there.
oh, well, I know I want.
Actually,
Oh, you were putting it in the chat. I want you to pin it to the top, but that's okay. I've done that already. So we're going to put it in the chat as well. All right, folks. So then find that button that says get a savings and earnings report. All right, get a savings and earnings report. Follow all of the directions. And when you follow those directions, someone from my office will contact you and set up a consultation. Oh my goodness. You will know the month, day, and year you can be debt free and how much interest you can save. That's what we're going to be talking about. Oh my goodness. I am so excited about this whole idea of what the P.I.L.L method does for finances. All right. You see the part of the other problem, part of the problem is this. Coffee and Donna. The P.I.L.L method answers questions about finance most people don't even know to ask. Let's let that breathe for a moment. That's what's going on. That's why we're getting people who are incredulous, because they've never heard it before. They never heard it before. So when they're first hearing it, it goes against what they've been taught all these years. But do you know what? You know what happens when you go against what you've been taught all these years? All you have to do is show people the numbers. So Donna, here's the thing. When people talk about this idea, they talk in generalities when they are talking about their ideas and promoting certain heuristics, certain rules of thumb, certain ideas about finance. And it sounds great when they are talking about it. Guess what they don't ever provide? The numbers to back up what they're saying.
I was going to say the receipts, because you see what happened, as I said before, Don, they have been working in these industries for years, and they've moved out of that industry, and basically you cannot come and tell them anything about finance, anything about saving on interest and cost, and not even the interest, but the cost to borrow the loan. You can't tell them anything because they've been in the industry for 20 odd years, and that's what's dangerous.
So here's
not open to learning.
Exactly. So here's where we're talking about. So somebody put in the chat, I can't remember who it was. So it talked about taxes. All right. It's tax season again, folks. Tax season. And guess what happens in tax season? You get to discount your mortgage interest. Some of you are going to be able to benefit from the tax benefits for paying mortgage interest. And so people are saying now that if I pay off the loan too soon, I'm losing money that I could benefit from the taxes. All right. So here's the thing. When I do let's say I go out to speak, all right, and that question comes up. It generally it inevitably comes up every time I speak. So I have $1 in one pocket. Okay, I got $1 in one pocket. I have 27 cents in the other. So I pull it out. Here's $1. Here's 27 cents. Okay, you have to pay $1 in interest to get 27 cents back from the government because of that $1. You don't get the whole $1 back. You only get a portion of that $1 back. Are you guys getting that? I need everybody to hear that, especially if you are an accountant here and look at this from the standpoint of counting dollars and cents. So here's the thing. I can keep the loan for 30 years. And if I keep the loan for 30 years, guess what? I can get that tax break for 30 years or as long as it lasts. If it doesn't change, if the law doesn't change, I can get that tax break for 30 years. But guess what? What if I pay that mortgage off in 7? Here's what you need to understand. Every year I have the mortgage and I pay mortgage interest. And if I qualify, I get to keep the tax savings. I get to keep that for 7 years. But if I pay the mortgage off in 7, listen to me, folks. If I pay the mortgage off in 7, doggone it, I lose the tax break. I lose the 27 cents. But I get to keep the dollar to invest any way I want. Now, you tell me, which is better, keeping the tax break for 30 years? Miranda, you need to come up on stage. You're going to be just raising your hand. Come up on stage. Do I need to keep the tax break for 30 years? Or do I need to get the tax break for as long as I need it and then keep my dollar to invest someplace else? Folks, this is the benefit of the P.I.L.L method. We want to show the numbers behind everything that we're talking about. That's what's up. It's about the numbers. And so when you plug everything into a computer that is designed to beat the bank's computer at its own game, all right? So I'm going to put something else up on the screen because this is what we were talking about in the other room when it comes to AI, okay? This is when it comes to AI. So we need to go in here and put this on the screen. All right. So I had what they were talking about in there is 2 things. It was 2 things. Why use monies that I could use to invest to pay down the loan? Okay, and that's generally where they go, Miss Donna, using monies that I could invest to pay down the loan, and then the other thing is, what if I only keep the loan for a few years, and I'm not trying to keep it for 30. I'm only going to keep it for a few years. Why would I even think about saving money or paying on the principal? And I'm going to answer both of those questions with this example. And I'm going to put up a an example from one of my clients here. All right, let me find that. Here it is. All right, we're going to put that up. Okay, so here's one of my clients. And they have a commercial building, 57. They're making $57,000 a month on this commercial building. All right, and their mortgage only $14,000, $14,696. All right, so I'm just going to show you just one of these loans, just one of the loans, okay? And here is the information on just one of the loans. I got to bring up my notes. All right, and here we go. And there it is. So here is, I'm going to take the principal amount out, all right, and put in the payment. I'm going to delete that. The payment is $87.04. Okay. And it's for 300 months. That's for 25 years, 300 months. All right. And the interest rate is 5%. So, Donna, what were they talking about in terms of what was the first thing you heard about when you asked, are you using the P.I.L.L method to manage your debt? What was the first thing that somebody talked about? Do you remember?
Okay, so what it is it was the Burr method.
Mm-hmm.
They purchased the property for $75,000.
Mm-hmm.
Spent about 72. They spent about $45,000 to repair.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's worth, I think it was $140-something thousand it was worth. However,
Okay.
presently the mortgage is $2,200 monthly. The It's cash flowing $7,200. Now it's that I have about 11 doors. They're all, this was the light that went off in my head. It's cash flowing, and I have 11 doors. There's like 13 students in that property, and in other property, because they cater for students, college students. So right now they have about 11 doors, and all that money I'm trying to build. The operative word is I'm building a portfolio. So the money that's generated after I pay my expenses, I do not touch it.
Okay.
So the money is sitting in the bank there, and it is paying off the loan.
Okay.
And that was when my bulb went off, and I was like, okay. So I jumped out and I came back, and I was like, okay, if we take a look at what's left in the bank, sitting in the bank, untouched, waiting for that roof. And remember, he pointed out that it was a down to stud repair. Roof, everything was rehab because it was not in the best of shape. So we're not looking about roof for another 10 to 15 years, right? So it was well done. And it would now value, as he was saying, one of the property was over 407,000. So I'm like, okay, that money's sitting in the bank, not doing anything, ain't gaining any interest.
Okay.
What have you considered the P.I.L.L method to save on the interest cost? Even, but here what I think it is, and there's a lot of people that look at it like this, John, is I'm not paying out of pocket, so I'm just going to let it just cash flow and pay itself off. But if they would have taken some time out to look at the P.I.L.L method and realize it's not about the interest, it's cash flowing, it's not money out of your pocket, take that money sitting in the bank, earning nothing, and pay the cost. So that 11 building that's there, cash flowing, look how much cost it's going to cost you in the interest over the term of the mortgage that's left.
All right, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. So here's what people that individuals, real estate investors, bankers, people who have been in this industry forever. If you want to see these numbers and you're new to the room, besides, let me check something. Let me check something, folks. This information is too valuable. Go ahead and start sharing the room out into the hallway. Would you please? Could I get each and every one of you to share the room at least 1 or 2 times? Okay, because as I check the insights here, we have 7 shares. We have 7 shares. Can I get some more shares to get more people in here? So if you need to see these numbers, we have it up on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. All right. So talking about this, I'm not worried about, here's the premise. I am not worried about paying this loan down faster because my tenants are paying the loan. Here's what's happening, and I need you to see this, to see it for what it really is. Even though the tenants are paying this loan off, okay, I need you to see what happens after 1 year. I'm looking at cumulative principal and cumulative interest, and here is what real estate investors aren't looking at. It sounds good. I just need the tenants to pay it off, and I'm good. Why worry about it? Because of this, your tenants gave you enough money to pay the principal down by $30,699.86. All right, we're going to put that. Listen, I got to put that on the screen. Okay, 30,000. They gave you 30,000. All right, because you paid it to principal. All right, that's 30,699.86. Your tenants gave you that money. All right. And they also gave you enough money to pay the interest. So if you look straight across from that, they gave you an additional 73,000. Okay. So we're going to add right there. We're going to add 73,748.14 equals, your tenants gave you $104,484 in 1 year. That's what the tenants gave Folks, are you seeing where I'm going to? Are you seeing where I'm going here? The tenants gave you $104,000. How much were you able to keep out of that or generate? How much were you able to profit from that? You were able to generate $30,699.86 in equity out of $104,000. Listen, if I gave you right now, everyone in here, all right, I gave you, your family, $104,000, $104,448. If I gave you and your family, and you and your spouse and your children knew you had $104,000, and a year later you only had $30,000 of it left, what would your spouse say? All right, this is an investment. Your investment gave you $104,000, and all you have left is to show for it is $30,699.86. Donna, what do you think about that? Isn't this amazing? Isn't this amazing? So here's what I told this real estate investor. Okay, so this real estate investor is putting money in the bank. All right, and they have a reserve fund of over $100,000. So I said, could you borrow $30,000 from yourself? $30,000 from yourself. Apply it to this loan principal. All right. Apply it to principal on line one. You make your regular payment, and then you give the bank an additional $30,000 that goes straight to principal. My question is, aren't you paid down to line 12 in just 1 month? The answer is yes. So I'm paid down to the exact same place, giving the bank the exact same amount of money I would have given them in 1 year anyway. But guess what? It didn't cost me all of that interest. I get to eliminate the interest cost between line 2 and line 12. Folks, that is $67,000 in interest saved. Let me do some additional math here. All right, let me put this up. That money sitting in the bank is making me 1/10 of 1%. 1/10 of 1%. That's what's happening. The money in the bank is saving me 1/10 of 1%. So that's what it's making me. But if I take the money out of the bank, and apply it to principal, I'm going to save $67,661.37. So let me put that in the calculator. I'm going to save $67,661.37. But what is it? I'm going to prepay, take money out of the bank that was sitting in the bank. I'm going to take 30 grand out of the bank, and I'm going to divide it by, here we go, 30,699.86. I get 2.20. So if you're doing percentages, you have to move the decimal point 2 places. Folks, 120% return on my money. Taking money out of the bank that was making 1/10 of 1% now gets me a 220% return by applying it to the mortgage and interest I don't have to pay. Are you guys getting that? Are you getting it? I need to see some number 9s in the chat or something that you guys are hearing me and getting this. This is what the AI system can do for you when you understand, helps you to understand the use of your money. You got your money doing something over here. You got options to do money over here. Did you know? I asked the AI system about opportunity cost, and it broke down opportunity cost. It says opportunity cost is you have to consider how much money you would lose if you use your money in this way or another way. That's what opportunity cost is. That's what opportunity cost is. If I could use it one way or another way. All right. So I could leave it in the bank and make 1/10 of 1%. I can apply it to this mortgage and save me 67 grand. And then when you ask the computer that, the computer is going to give you the right answer all the time based on the numbers, not based on my feeling, not based on what I've been taught for 30 years, not based on what the financial gurus are saying, but based on the numbers. Folks, it does not matter how sincere a person is if they're giving you bad information. They're not meaning to give you bad information. They're sincere in their belief. But what is happening is that the information we've been given for the last 87, 88, 89 years, when it comes to dealing with these mortgages and investing, is absolutely wrong when you focus on the numbers. Miranda says, numbers don't lie. People lie. Even if they're lying, listen, you're either speaking the truth or you're speaking a lie. You don't have to be intentional about lying to speak a lie. I want you to get that. You may be lying, but you don't know that you're lying. You're trying to give people good information, but it turns out not to be good information. That's what we're talking about today, folks. How can we get the best information possible? You have to run the numbers. By running the numbers, that's how you get to where you want to go. Listen, do I have any other questions online in Clubhouse? Listen, you've heard me. Listen, I'm just talking. Raise your hand, come up to the stage if you've got something to say about this. Because listen, I didn't just stop asking the AI questions there. All right. There are many more questions that need to be asked and answered when it comes to this, especially if you have more than one debt. Well, you have more than one debt and you're trying to figure out opportunity cost. Can I show you something else? Can I show you something? What if you have 10 different things you need to consider? All right. They're called variables. Okay. And when I asked the AI, what if I have 5 different things to consider? All right. The AI went into this mode. 5 factorial. That's a 5 and an exclamation point. Okay. 5 factorial. I have it on the screen. 5 factorial means there's 120 different things you can do. But if you're optimizing, if you want optimized results, okay, there's only one of those 120 things you can do that's optimal. All right. Doing them in the right order at the right time. Folks, does that make sense to you? That if you have 5 different things you can do, especially when it comes to making money, and there is if you do it in a certain way, you're going to make a certain amount of money. If you do it in another way, you're going to make or lose more money. But out of 120 different ways to do it, only one way is going to emerge as the best way. Would everybody agree to that? Right? If you agree to that, put a number 7 in the chat. If you agree that there's only one way out of 120 different ways, okay? If you're going to do something, you have 120 different ways. Isn't one way going to be the best way, especially when it comes to numbers? Well, let me tell you something. What if you have 10 ways to do something? 10 ways. All right? 10 ways. 10 factorial. What happens when you do 10 exclamation point, 10 factorial, and hit return? Look at this. It's not 120. Okay. We went from 5, where it's 120 different ways, and we just doubled the number of variables. But the number of what they call permutations. I'm learning all this now from the AI. Permutation balloons up to 3,628,800 different ways to consider to find the number one best way. And do you know that the AI said, listen, there's even more you could do to get it more refined so you can know exactly which one of all of these different ways you can know what to do. And the way it outlined it is exactly what we're doing at the P.I.L.L method. Folks, we've been doing AI for a long time. So here's the difference between artificial intelligence and a spreadsheet. I'm going to break it down to you. A spreadsheet, if you put in constant numbers saying, if I have an extra $500 to put on my debt every month, the spreadsheet will tell you based on that when you're going to be out of debt. But when you ask a dynamic program what to do, the dynamic program says, let's take a look at your entire budget. Let's take a look at what you're spending. Let's take into account how much you paid for electricity, gasoline, and food this month. And let's figure out how much money is actually left over from your budget. And let's figure out what to do with that money that's left over. You're not you're not telling our program how much to put on the debt. You're telling the program how much you're making and how much you're spending and how much you're setting aside for investments, so for savings for long term, so that you can retire well. You're telling the program everything, but the money that's left over, you're asking the program, what is the best thing to do with the money that's left over? And the program will then say, put that amount of money in your savings account. And the program will tell you every month, put that money in your savings account, but only keep it there for a certain amount of time based on how much money your family makes, based on how much your expenses are, and how much money you actually have left over. The program will tell you this is how long you need to keep the money in your savings account. But it will eventually tell you, in this month, on this day of the month, take this amount out of the bank to the penny, and which loan to apply it to maximize your interest savings, because that is what gets you out of debt faster, folks. Pay less interest and more of your money goes to principal. All right, pay less interest, more of your money goes to principal. Let's go back to we're going to go back to our this is our amortization schedule. So here's what I need you to see. The more interest you save, the faster you get out of debt. So Donna and let me see here. All right. So Donna, so what we had going on here is somebody else was talking about what if I only keep the loan for a short length of time? What is that going to mean for me? All right, watch this. Oh boy. If this real estate investor has $30,000 available out of $100,000 to apply to this mortgage, but they're putting $6,000 in that reserve fund every month. They've earmarked putting $6,000 every month in the reserve fund. Then if they take $30,000 out and they wait until they replenish that money, it would take about 5 months to put it back in. So in one month, they can knock off 1 year, one whole year off this loan and save $67,000. So that means, Donna, they would have to make the minimum payment for 5 months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they would make the minimum payment for 1, 2, 3, for 5 months. Okay, 5 months. And then that $30,000 would be put back into their bank account. Guess what? They could apply another $30,000 and knock off another 11 or 12 months. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now they're down to month 28 on this. All right. In just 6 months. In 6 months, they have $74,000 paid down for a lot less interest cost. Okay. So if we keep that up every 5 months or so, putting money on, even if you only keep this loan for 5 years, you're going to get, when you cash out refi, you're going to get a whole lot more money back for a lot less interest paid. Because each time you put that 30 grand on, you're saving about $70,000 in interest. You don't have to pay the bank. So you're getting $30,000 in equity, $30,000 in equity. Every 5 months, you can get about $30,000 in equity. And each time you do that, you're saving $60,000 or $70,000 in interest. Do you see the numbers, folks? Does it make sense? Do you see why we've been doing that? We've been focusing on AI, understanding, especially if you have several mortgages all at one time. I'm going to pull up a situation where we're actually going to put our AI system on the screen so you can actually see what happens when we have a number of mortgages to consider. All right. But I want to see first if there are any hands raised or anybody wants to come and talk about this whole idea of what GPT-3 does for text and painting and creativity and writing code and just artificial intelligence to upgrade your life. We've been doing for your numbers for mortgages for over 17 years already. It's amazing. It's amazing. So let me pull this up. Let me pull this over to the screen. All right. What GTP is doing, we've been doing for years. All right. So here we go. I'm going to change this to, let's see, we're going to reset this account. We're going to put in here a template with multiple properties. Here's the template we're using, multiple properties. And I want to show you something that's absolutely amazing that people are missing out on. Okay. I need you to show you the numbers because I don't want to just give you platitudes. I just don't want to be talking off the top of my head on something that sounds right. I want to give you something that you can actually use. And if you're new to the room, go to YouTube so you can see these examples. Go on your tablet or your laptop so that you can see this. All right. Continue to share the room, folks. I'm going to check to see in insights. All right. I want to thank you for, we got up to 9 shares. Okay, great. Listen, continue to share the room for me. Let me share it. Let me share it one more time. Get a few more people in here because it's later in the day. Some people have gotten up. They need to get in here. They need to see what's going on. So now I've got 10 loans in here. I'm going to go to the accounts so that you can see that we have 10 mortgages in here. Here's mortgage number 10. All right. And now we're going to start from 10 and we're going to go through, then we're going to go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is at the top. And we got a HELOC at the bottom. So we actually have 11 mortgages because a HELOC is a second mortgage. So we have 11 mortgages here. All right. Remember what I talked about when you have all of those variables, which one out of over 3 million different things you could do and how you can configure how to pay these loans off, only one way, only one amount of money, and putting that money on the debt in a particular month on a particular day of the month is going to be the best thing you could do without paying too much at the wrong time and you violate the law of diminished return, there is so much going on here, folks. So we're going to ask the program, we're going to ask this program, when you got all this going on, all right, we're going to ask the program, what do we do here? What are we doing? So we're going to take a look at, we're starting in October, November, December, okay, January. All right. So we can see 3 months at a time. So the program says, all right, get your rents in, pay your bills, put some money in savings, and just make minimum payments on the loans. Okay. Continue to pay your bills. Just tell the program how much you're paying. All right. But then in this month, in December, the program says, oh, we're going to take some money out of savings, apply it to the HELOC and pay it to zero. And then out of all the mortgages, we're going to put money on mortgage number 9. Mortgage number 9. And I'm going to break this all the way down so that you can see what's going on. All right. When we put that money on mortgage number 9, look what happens. Look what happens. I'm going to make it bigger. The program, the AI says, put out of all the money that you have available, only take $4,097.73 and apply it to the debt. Why 4,000 out of all the money that this guy has? Why only take $4,097.73 on this day and apply it to this loan? Because even 1 penny more lowers the amount of interest you can save per dollar. You start to violate the law of diminished return at that point. Don't put any more on this right here. And you can see how much interest you save. $47,626.03 in interest savings. When you take a look at that and you divide the 47,626 by the $4,097.73, that will tell you how much interest you're saving per dollar. And that's important. That's important to say. So the AI pointed out I'm studying this thing out and I'm using what everybody's talking about now. All right. We typed it into the chat AI and it says, don't put any more on than you need to put on. And I'm going to prove it to you right here. I'm going to prove it to you right here. So we're going to put the numbers into a calculator. Oh my gosh. We're going to put 47,000. All right. 626.03. That's our interest savings. All right. And we're going to divide it by what we're paying to prepay, $4,097.73. Right, there you go. And all right, equals $11.62. So we're saving $11.62 per dollar. $11.62 per dollar. Now, this guy has plenty of money in the bank. Plenty of money. Okay. So he says, well, Don, why stop at 4,000? I could easily put 10,000. Now let's write that down. How much money is he saving per dollar? $11.62. All right. So the AI says, stop here. If you violate the law of diminished return, you are going to upset your apple cart and you are not going to save as much money per dollar, which means when you look at the long-term interest savings, you are hurting yourself. Okay. So here's what we're going to take a look at. We're going to change this to 10,000 right now. I can put $10,000 on. All right. And then we're going to, I put $10,000 on. Look at this. My interest savings jump up to $108,400. 308.78. That's how much interest I could save. But let's look and see how much interest I'm saving per dollar when I do that. I don't want to get fooled by the big numbers. I want to make my money as efficient as possible. And this is what our program does against what everybody else is talking about. So let's go ahead. Let's pull up our calculator again. We're going to put in the calculator $108,000 this time. 108,308.78 and divide it by $10,000. So let's go ahead. We're going to divide it by, click on divide by 10,000. And it equals $10.83 per dollar. Folks, we were getting $11.62 per dollar every time when we applied that money. But when we put more on at the wrong time, we're only saving $10.83. So folks, if you had some money, would you want to save for every dollar $11.62 per dollar or $10.83 per dollar, thinking the old way, thinking more money is better than less money just because it's more? We get fooled by that. We have been talking about this for years. And now we're going to be able to talk to more people intelligently. So it's not just me saying it. It is the aggregation of financial and math knowledge coming together in an AI system where you can test what we have been talking about for the last 17 years. Folks, we're going to take a break right here. Listen, you're in the P.I.L.L Method Club. Go ahead and click that greenhouse at the top. Miss Donna, are you here right now? Because I know you got stuff you got to do.
I am right here.
Will you go ahead and reset the room for me, please? And if you are, you're on mute.
Oh, I mute myself back. Oh, I thought I did. Good morning, everyone. You're in the P.I.L.L Method Club. If you're not already a member of this club, please click on that little greenhouse and become a member. We're here 3 days per week, and you'll have Wednesday and Friday in the P.I.L.L Method. On Sunday, we do it in the Mortgage Syndicate. So we're glad that you are here. Please share the room in the hallway. You can share the room on Twitter. You can share the room on whatever social media, Facebook, Instagram. Share the room in the hallway so our algorithm can go up and other people can know that we are in here. So again, share the room. The chat is an extension of the club. Therefore, no pitching is allowed. And I thank you for being here, and share the room and invite a friend. Ping a friend, ping a friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. Listen, folks, if you want to do this, Donna is speaking to us from Clubhouse. If you're online and you're wanting to know what's going on here and people are talking, they're speaking from Clubhouse. So that's our audience. And I would, if I were you, if you're watching us and you don't have Clubhouse, go to your app store and download it. Download Clubhouse and follow the P.I.L.L Method Room on Clubhouse so that you listen. There is so much to learn when you have multiple ways of learning. Some people love audio learning. Some people are visual. All right. So that's why we offer both. We offer audio and visual for those who need it that way. So also, if you want to know the month, day, and year you could be debt free, go to my link at the top. Get a savings and earnings report. All right, get that report for yourself. Okay, get that report for yourself. And what I need you to also to understand, folks, is when you get that report, your information, we're going to optimize your information. So even from the report, there's information we don't know about your situation, like exactly when you get paid, or exactly how much money is left over at the end of the month. All right. We're doing estimates here. So if we tell you when you get your results back that you're going to take your 30-year mortgage and pay it off in 7.5 years, we're generally going to be able to beat that by 10 to 17%. When we tell you you're going to save $150,000 in interest, we tend to beat that by another 10 to 17% on average. Folks, when you use AI to direct you like financial GPS as to what to do with your money and when, so that you can save the maximum amount of interest, because the more interest you save, the faster you gain equity. And you may not want to pay off the mortgage. You just may want to get to the point where you can cash out refi years sooner. Then do that. Listen, we just have Tax D Wolf come into the room. All right. Is he still here? All right. Let's bring him up. What's going on, Joseph? Okay.
Grand Rising, Don. We down here in Miami. About to go look at a multifamily. Wish us luck.
We'll do that, man.
Making moves.
Making moves. Listen, man, we're talking about AI, and this GTP3 thing, and openai.com. All right, we're talking about that today. And what OpenAI and this GTP3 is doing for text, we've been doing for finances for over 17 years. And do you know, I'm using this platform to test our theories. And guess what? The AI has been coming back consistently saying that we're on the right track. We're doing it in the right way. For instance, we were looking at, sir, what is the best way to save interest? All right. And the AI says that, you need to consider interest cost over interest rate. It also says that when you have multiple mortgages, you need to understand interest. You need to understand how to, another thing it gave us, critical point analysis. You need to understand that to know which loan to attack, which month to do it in, which day of the month to do it on, and how you can use your monies. All right. And using, not critical point analysis, but opportunity cost. Do you know that we have real estate investors who have money sitting in the bank, tens and sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars set aside just so that they can take care of repairs and maintenance? And they don't realize that that money can be leveraged to kill hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest and grow their equity 5 to 7 times faster. So Tax D, is the building you're looking at, are you looking at keeping it long term?
Yeah, but about a 5-year hold.
A 5-year hold. Okay. And then what's your exit strategy, if I may ask?
So the plan is, of course, this is pretty much the same plan. Whenever we purchase a multifamily, we come in, value add, hold for about 3 to 5 years, and then we'll sell it at the current market value in 5 years, and get our return on investment. Okay.
Now I had an example on. Are you at a place where you can see a computer, or so you can see our numbers on screen?
I'm not. I'm actually, okay. We're literally about to head there right now.
All right. That's all right, man. But thank you for popping in. Because what we showed is that a real estate investor, even if they have a 5-year exit plan, can have 5 times the equity build up at 75% less interest cost by the time they're ready to sell. And they're not sacrificing any of the money that they've earmarked for reinvesting. How would you like to be in that position? That's what we're talking about, folks. That's what AI will do for you, is to make sure that you're getting the biggest bang for your buck by giving you specific instructions on how to manage your money so that you can increase profitability by 100 or even 200%. It is amazing. So, folks, remember, go to pillmethod.com or ice10k.com and click on that button to get a savings and earnings report. But don't forget this. Don't forget to get the book. Get the book today. All right. And start understanding how artificial intelligence can help you increase profitability, help you save money in interest, take that interest money and invest that money so that you can have more doors, or in terms of maybe if you are a residential home buyer, maybe you want to save that $150,000 you don't have to give the bank and invest it in your family and start building generational wealth with money that previously went to the bank in the form of interest. Oh my, listen, I got it on the screen. So we're going to switch screens now. We're going to go back to the screen. I have the website up, OpenAI, that I've been using. So listen, any one of you can join OpenAI for free and start. Listen, maybe you're an artist. Maybe you're in finance. Maybe, did you know that once you get good at prompting this tool, if you want to write copy, ad copy for your business, you can feed in certain parameters and this thing will write your ad copy for you. Let's say you said, I want to write my ad copy for my soap business, and I want to attract people who are invite to speak. There we go. I want to attract people who are 35 to 47 years old. Do you know that this thing can write the copy to attract those people? That's how powerful a tool this is. So when we asked it about several stages about the P.I.L.L method, do you realize that this AI was coming back and telling us you're doing it correctly? Kurt the Bank Barnes is in the building. How you doing, Kurt?
Using my pen, you just gave me an idea. Oh my gosh.
What idea is that, Kurt?
You said you just asked ChatGPT a certain question, right? And I'm reaching for my pen before I forget to write the question down. Is how to write out how to be the best Airbnb,
yes,
VRBO, Booking.com operator. Like that literally just clicked in my mind just a while ago.
Listen, man, what I've heard, this is what I've learned so far. You can create a persona. You can say, listen, I am an Airbnb superhost in this area. And here are my other parameters. What can I do to achieve X? And then you put in what that X is. It'll give you all sorts of ideas, man. Oh, you just listen. All right. Listen, Kurt, we were asking the AI, because when I started asking the questions, it said that you need to consider interest rate. Okay. Guess what I asked the AI? I said, is it possible? Watch this, Kurt. Is it possible that if I'm trying to optimize my interest savings, that a slightly higher interest rate would actually benefit me more in interest savings and get me out of debt faster? Guess what the AI said? Theoretically, yes. What? I've been telling people this for years. Kurt, what's going on, man? Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
That's It said theoretically, so I mean, I guess there's a possibility for it to happen, right?
Oh yeah, but you listen. You have to have. You got to have all. It was mentioning several other things that you have to have in place to do it. Okay, we have all of those things. I'm just not sharing all of those things because there's a lot of smart people out there.
Did you try? Let me see. There's not a lot of people in here. Did you try UChat, like YOU chat?
Not yet.
Yeah, try YOU chat. That one is in real time. I think ChatGPT goes back to 2021, but it's still good information. I mean, and a lot of people haven't caught up to 2021 as of yet. But yeah, Kirk the Bank Barnes commercial loan broker, short-term rental operating bond home investor from New York. Yeah, Don, check out UChat, and UChat gives you things in real time.
Got you. I will do that. I will do that. I listen. I got my notebook too. I just wrote that down. Hey, Joseph, if you're still here, can you introduce yourself if you're still here? Because he was going into a meeting. All right. But listen, I thank you for being here. So, Kurt, what's going on, man? What are you up to these days?
So I'm still in Mississippi. Don, I gotta get out of here, man. Yeah, finish or not finish. Honestly, at the end of the month, I think I'm over this. I am leaving. Waiting
Okay.
for furniture. Yeah, it's the remodel is a lot. It reminds me of when I first got my first property, but I know with the P.I.L.L method, I'll be able to pay this mortgage off, sooner than later, right? So I could just keep it pushing from there. So yeah, I'm still here, Don. We still got the same weather. I could go outside in a t-shirt right now. It's pretty nice out there.
Listen, man, I can't wait to work with you on that new property and other properties that you have, so that we can, talk about leveraging your finances and how you can optimize and increase profits by not ignoring interest costs. Donna was trying to bring that up in the room today. You heard her? Were you in the room early when she brought that up?
I didn't hear her. I jumped in, but then I had to jump back out. But I jumped back in.
Oh, you mean on the mortgage interest mortgage syndicate?
I'm hopping around today, man.
Hey, listen,
I'm leapfrogging.
Keep doing that, man. Keep doing that. But folks, we have that on the screen. So if you want to go ahead, and Kurt mentioned UChat, that's going to be important information. We're talking about AI this morning. All right. And Kurt, we if you're new to the room, I want to go back to something that is going to be important. I'm going to bring up my YouTube channel. Okay. My YouTube channel. And my YouTube channel, I got to get to my, oh boy, I'm telling you, this thing, when you use these smaller screens, go ahead.
Don, if you don't mind, right? Can I mention like maybe two more that people could possibly use as well?
Listen, man, the time is yours. Go ahead.
All right. So, we mentioned ChatGPT. Everyone knows about that. I just mentioned UChat, YOUCHAT. There's also Sales Blink. That's SALES Blink, like your eye, BLINK.io. And then there's also Browse, BROWSE.IA.
You're going too fast for me, Kurt. Come on. Okay, start over.
He's going too fast for the stenographer here.
Yeah, start over, man. Sales Blink.
Okay, yeah. I'm trying to make sure I talk American. Sales Blink, SALES Blink, like your eye, BLINK.io. And then there's also Browse, like your browser for your computer. So BROWSE.ai. And those are other smart tools that you can actually use for your business. Not everyone is going to use it. Not everyone needs it, but it's just something that you guys can utilize. and see where it goes from there. But the U chat done. They blocked me. I'm trying to log back in, man. They just keep blocking me from there, man. So I'm gonna try to get back in. But the U chat is definitely like right now.
Yeah.
And the chat GPT is about 2021. So it's a little bit of difference.
All right. Well, I'm going to now. I think it might help because I get up really early in the morning, so that might help. Is it because the servers are overloaded? What do you think?
Say that again.
Do you think their servers are overloaded? That's why they're kicking you out?
Yep.
Okay.
Because everybody, I give them about 2 months. They'll be off. People not consistent like me.
All right. Listen, folks, I'm putting in let's see, artificial intelligence here. All right. I'm searching this. Kurt, I have my YouTube channel, and I'm searching artificial intelligence amongst the videos that I have. All right. And this is when we started talking about this. And I've got videos going back 11 years. I use the videos and then other explanations to talk about what we're doing because I didn't have the language to talk about it because I don't know anything about computers. All right. But I knew enough to get information over to people who knew about computers to help write so that they could write the program. So we have this is going back 11 years. This is how long we've been talking about. This one is 10 years old. This one is 5 years old that talks about P.I.L.L methods, augmented machine learning. Augmented machine learning. We were talking about 5 years ago, before this thing got popular, man. So this is what's good. And I appreciate you coming in here. And we got Credit Goddess here now. Credit Goddess, how are you?
I'm good, Don. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I was trying to make you a moderator and I almost sent you to the audience, pushing the wrong button. So, if I ever sent you to the audience, please know it wasn't on purpose.
I understand. Yeah, the little fat fingers will definitely send you to the audience.
I know. So tell us what you're doing and how you're doing it. Tell us who you are.
Everyone. Yes. Hey, everyone. Happy hump day. My name is Rose Lore Lewis, also known as Credit Goddess. All things credit score improvement strategist, business credit coach, NAV, business loan broker. So I help clients improve their credit so that way they can get access to capital. So we can run these businesses out here. So many entrepreneurs are on the rise and you guys definitely need funding, but credit is definitely the foundation. So that way you can establish the business credit on up to corporate credit. So any of you guys are in that position, definitely tap in with me. So that way we can get you going. So that's it. Thanks, Don. Well, I like the title here.
Well, listen, we have been, we were challenged again in the a mortgage syndicate again about our information, but it's only because people don't understand where we're coming from in terms of interest savings. Okay.
Oh, they challenge you?
Oh, well, they're thinking about, see what they're thinking about is so one person was saying, yeah, I thought about Don's program, but I'm trying to save up all of my money. I don't want to use it to pay down the debt. And so I had to come back in again and say, I don't want the money you're using to invest. Continue to invest. And then they said that they're paying, what they're doing is that they are, they're not really worried about it because the tenants are paying down the loan. Okay. So I pointed out in one of our examples that, and I'm going to put it back. I'm going to put it back on the screen. All right. One of our examples here that if you have this mortgage, all right, and it's cash flowing big time, and you pay it principal down by $30,000. You follow me, Rose? Pay it down by $30,000, and you pay $73,000 in interest. So did your tenants just give you $103,000?
Yep.
Okay. So listen, if I gave you $103,000, Rose, and a year from now, all you had to show for it was 30,000, would that be a good thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it would be a good thing.
Why? How's that a good thing?
Because it's pretty much saving you. Well,
No. I need you to listen. All right.
Okay.
I'm not talking about in terms of the pill method.
Oh, okay.
If I gave you $103,000 and a year from now, you only had 30 of it left, would that be a good thing?
No.
Well, okay. And that's what happens when you're paying. If your tenants give you $103,000 and 70 of it goes up in smoke because you gave it to the bank.
Right.
And you only got 30 grand left. How is that a good thing? We're not thinking about the money in the right way.
But you know what? I think they're not thinking about it because it didn't, they're not looking at it as how overall, they're looking at it as like it's not tangible. They didn't touch it. So it's like, oh, well, if I don't have it in my hand, then, what do I care? And I think that's the part that they're not connecting, is the fact that you get to save overall. But a lot of people just want to hold it. And because they're not holding it, they're not seeing the value of it, if you get what I'm saying.
There's a term for that.
What's the term?
Inattentional blindness. Look it up, folks. It's called inattentional blindness. I'm going to put that on the screen. All right. Inattentional. All right. IONAL. Inattentional blindness. There it is. Okay. So I've got it says inattentional blindness in psychology. It says it talks about things that are actually right in front of you that you cannot see. So the money that you're being given, but you're not noticing the amount of interest that you're paying. You're only satisfied with the 30 grand you have left. That's called. So it says, what is inattentional blindness? The term inattentional blindness was first coined by psychologists who observed the phenomenon during their perception and attention experiments. Because this inability to perceive this sighted blindness seemed to be caused by the fact that subjects were not attending to the stimulus, but instead were attending to something else. We labeled this phenomenon inattentional blindness. Now, I don't know how many of you have heard of this experiment. Okay, there's an experiment on YouTube. All right, and if you plug inattentional blindness into YouTube, you will see a video that pops up. And what you want to do is it will be people in like white shirts or black shirts passing a ball around. And the instructions are going to be, count how many times the people in the white shirts pass the ball. I need you to go and without giving away anything, I need you to go and do that and see if you can count correctly. See if you can count it correctly. And try that experiment. Come back on Friday and tell me what you find out about inattentional blindness. So that's what's going on, Credit Goddess, when we're talking about that inattentional blindness. So anyway, we were pointing out. Let me see here. I'm sharing the room one more time. Let's get some more people in here. And if you want to come to the stage, do that. We were pointing out with this particular thing, Credit Goddess. If this real estate investor had $30,000 sitting in an account They're investing everything they want to invest, but they have over $100,000 sitting in an account that they can for repairs and maintenance. So we're taking 30 grand out, applying it to the debt, right? So we're getting the same amount of equity, all right, but not for $73,000. This equity only cost me $6,200. So if I can get the equity of $30,000 in equity for $6,000 in interest instead of $73,000 in interest, this is what our AI is pointing out. This is how people need to think about their money. And if they're putting $6,000 away every month into this reserve fund, it only takes them 5 months to put it back. And then they can knock off another year, get more equity, and save another $60,000 in doing it. And in 5 years, even if they only kept the property 5 years, they would have way more equity and a lot less interest cost in that time. So this is what we're pointing out, folks. In everything that we're trying to do is upgrade people's thinking about money, and stop listening to people give you financial advice without giving you the numbers to back up what they're saying. Please stop. So is there anybody else in the audience that wants to come up? So what are you working on? What are you working on next, Credit Goddess? What's next on your agenda? Oh,
Give me 1 second.
Not a problem. She said, needs another second. So listen, folks, we're getting ready to get out of here. I want to thank you for being here. All right. And listening to me because I'm excited today. I'm excited today because we are plugging in P.I.L.L method strategies, P.I.L.L method ideas into AI. And when we do that, it comes back that we're doing the right thing. But guess what? It's a disruptive thing. It's something nobody else is talking about or doing. And for some people, to be in the part where you're being disruptive is hard for them to consider it. So, folks, here's what I need for all of you to do before it's all said and done. Try it out. Get the numbers. Prove it by the numbers. We have artificial intelligence that is so powerful. We make a claim that nobody else makes. And here it is. Because we're using artificial intelligence, when we tell you what your results are going to be. If you have a 30-year mortgage and we tell you you're going to be out of debt by following our program, you're going to be out of debt in 6.5 years, and you'll be able to save a certain amount of money while doing it. If we don't meet those parameters, you don't pay. We have a lifetime guarantee. A lifetime guarantee. That's what's up. Okay. So listen. So Don, so what you're saying is, if I have a mortgage, and you tell me and I pay it off on time, and so that's where my guarantee ends? Nope, that's not what I'm saying at all. Hi, Crystal. How are you?
Good morning.
Okay.
I'm well, thank you.
Here's what I'm saying. If you have our program now and you pay off the current mortgage that you have, and let's say you put a renter in there and then you buy another house, do you know that our guarantee extends to that house too? Because once you put it into our program, all of the numbers that we promise you pop up on the screen. You'll be able to pay this house off in this amount of time and save this interest. If we don't, guess what? All of your money back. All right. You can keep doing that for years. And if the program ever fails to operate correctly, even 20 years from now, if you've paid off 4 or 5 or 10 houses, it doesn't matter. and save millions of dollars in interest. If the program ever fails, you get your money back. No one makes that claim. But because we're using artificial intelligence, which improves itself every single year, oh my gosh, that's how we can make this claim. So test it, try it. Get your savings and earnings report. Let's go ahead and put that on the screen because we're getting ready to get out of here. Get the savings and earnings report. Go ahead and click on that link that's above our heads and click the button that says Get Savings and Earnings Report. Follow all of the directions, and we will let you into our financial forum. Put all of your information in, and then someone will get a hold of you and verify your information and set up for you a consultation. Once we set up that consultation, guess what? You'll be able to know the month, day, and year you'll be debt free and how much interest you're going to save on any number of mortgages you have at the present time. And it continues to work for you for the rest of your natural life. And we guarantee it. All right. So anyway, that's what's going on. Miss Crystal, how are you doing?
I am in recovery. I'm doing well. How are you?
So was the weekend all of that?
Oh, no, the weekend's fine.
Okay.
I tried to eat some red meat on Monday night while I was watching the game.
Oh.
And I have not had red meat in a very long time, so my system's rejecting it.
I got you.
I'm working from home.
I got you. Tell us who you are and what you do. And then Credit Goddess, we want you to talk about what you're doing next before we get out of here. We got 6 minutes. So, Crystal, would you introduce yourself, please?
Oh, yes. Good morning, everyone. I'm Crystal Armstrong in Dallas, Texas, and I am an independent licensed escrow officer here in the state of Texas. I also own a couple of other businesses and been a full-time entrepreneur almost 14 years this year. And I am currently building my real estate investing portfolio so that I can retire in the next 2.5, 3 years. So that is what I do on a daily basis. And I love this room because it really does give me actionable steps to share with my clients to help them also position themselves to pay off these loans that they're refinancing on their homes in a much shorter period of time. So thank you again for having me, Mr. Don, and thank you for all you share.
You are so welcome. Credit Goddess, what you got new? We've got down to 5 minutes. What you got new going on?
Yes. Okay, so tonight, in my house, Cream House, as you guys know, I have a house. Tonight is our meetup at 6 o'clock Eastern. If any of you guys have any credit questions, in depth, it's a private, or intimate setting, I would say, in these houses. If you guys have any questions on your journey or just how it all works, I'm available every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Then after that, my colleague and we're going to be diving deep into FHA loans. So for any of you guys that are trying to prepare for a home or purchase a home this year and you want to learn about this product, definitely come on in. I'm going to post the link in my house. That is at 7. So we're not going to have a 2-hour session in my house. It's just going to be an hour. And then we're going to jump right into the FHA. And Chris, I would love for you to be there since you do mortgages too. But definitely tap in. Yeah, I put a lot of updates in our house. So you're going to learn so much more that I'm going to be doing this year. Like I said, this word execution is the word for 2023. So all the ideas and everything I shared with you guys last year, I'm actually putting that into fruition. So definitely tap in with me. Thanks, Don.
You are so welcome. Folks, we're getting ready to get out of here. I want to thank you for being here with me today and going over this important information. And that we want to, just to recap, we showed you that our program has been using artificial intelligence for years. We have videos going back 11 years talking about what everybody is talking about today. What this modern AI is doing for art, for writing, for texting, for giving you information, we have been doing for algorithms that save you money on interest for the last 17 years. No one, no program, nothing else out there comes close to what we're doing, because we're the only program that does optimized interest cancellation, meaning we use your current budget to kill interest at a phenomenal rate. And I want to thank David for coming in here. He's watching us from work, David Hunt. And listen, folks, I want to thank everybody else who came in here today. Thank you so much. We are going to be back here on Friday with a brand new subject. I want you to hear from Dr. Eric Thomas one more time as we say goodbye. See you on Friday.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down for my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.